Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Chicago White Sox March to October. We beat the Astros in the ALDS in the last one, advancing to the championship series against the Yankees. So we got game one to play in this episode today, but real quick before we get started, a couple of things. First of all, we hit 200 subscribers. That's so cool. I don't really have much else to say about that. It's just really cool to hit a milestone like that honestly, like a year or two ago, I didn't think was gonna happen. I thought I would have given up by now. But if you haven't already and you've been watching my videos, hit that subscribe button. Also, another thing I wanted to bring up is I know these videos, these March to October episodes, haven't been going up as consistently as they were for a time, but hopefully that's going to change again. I don't know what's happened like the last week or so, but I haven't been posting that much. I haven't been doing too much YouTubing, so hopefully that's going to change again. We're going to try to get back to one of these episodes every other day or every third day or something like that, something more consistent. And the last thing I wanted to bring up is over the course of the last 5 episodes or so, you guys have been giving some great suggestions for what team I should use in the next March to October. So keep leaving those suggestions in the comments. I'm going to have to try and actually think about how I'm going to pick which team to do next, because there's a wide variety of teams that have been suggested. So I'm going to try and think of a way to pick the teams. It'll probably involve some sort of polling if I can figure that out. But yeah, for the time being, just keep leaving your team suggestions in the comments. So with that out of the way, let's look at our matchup here. I want to get a gauge on what kind of competition we got up against us in the Yankees here. So let's look at their lineup. They got a very righty-heavy lineup here against righties too. So actually, if you look all the way through, their whole lineup is righties. So we're probably gonna fare pretty well in our bullpen. We have a lot of lefty starters. We got Rodon, Montgomery, and Keuchel. And then if the game decides it wants to put Gio Gonzalez in the rotation, then we have him too. But hopefully we have Lopez and Giolito as two righties. I don't know how it works, because I think I have Lopez in the 5th spot of the rotation, but I don't know if the game would automatically go back to the top of the rotation now that it's a new series, or if it's going to keep going through. Yeah, I don't really know how all the automation works here in March to October, but our bullpen has a lot of really good righties. We got Giles and Michael Givens as our two big righties. We've also got Cishek and Joe Kelly and Colome. So our righties are probably going to get a lot of work in this series, because they got, as we see here, pretty much an all-righty starting lineup. This is a very scary team too. I mean, the Astros were definitely scary also, but I don't know. This might take it. This might be a scarier lineup to face. I mean, there's just no spot that lets up in this order. That really, from top to bottom, it is all people who can do damage. And of course, pitching wise, they're a really good team too. I mean, they had the best record in the league for a reason. They got Garrett Cole as their ace. Severino also up above a 90 overall now. I guess that's only because of morale. But then they also have Paxton and Tanaka. Their bullpen, really good too. I mean, they got Ottavino, Green, Canely, Chapman, even Britton's going to be tough to hit. So hey, like I said, they're the best team in the entire league for a reason. And this could be considered the actual World Series matchup. I know, obviously it's not, it's the ALCS, but this is the series here. This is the 7-game series, best of 7 series between the two best teams in the league, the only two teams to finish over 100 wins on the season. So we're starting with a 1-0 deficit in the top of the 5th. We've got a lot of games to play here, and I'm curious to see who takes the mound, if it's going to be Giolito or our 5th starter, whether that be Lopez or Gio Gonzalez.
Let's check in with Heidi Watney, who's had a chance to ask both ball clubs about making it to the League Championship Series. Heidi?
Well, Matt, we're down to just 4 teams now, and one of those teams will be hoisting that World Series trophy in just a couple of weeks. I asked a few of the coaches and players what that means to them, and while many of them use the words like honor, thrill, and opportunity, one coach's response really caught my attention. He said mostly what that means is that we're facing an opponent that really, really wants to beat us. So it's extremely important that we don't get ahead of ourselves.
I don't know if you guys saw, but that comparison, that regular season comparison between us and the Yankees, we are such similar teams. That was insane. All of our stuff is really similar. I think we had the slight edge on the hitting stats, and they had the slight edge on the pitching stats, but man, it is all so similar. And we got a matchup here. We got Garrett Cole to face on Legend difficulty, and that's a fast fastball, and it's raining. I don't know if rain has any effect. It probably should, but my gut's telling me it doesn't. And it seems like we did have Giolito start, so the CPU went back. Oh, no way! I wasn't even really... I don't want to say wasn't paying attention to the at-bat, but I was in the middle of talking. Usually I'm not as locked in when I'm trying to say something, but Edwin turned on that fastball. 431 feet, no doubt. We're making up that deficit on the first swing. So anyway, like I was trying to say before I was so rudely interrupted by Edwin's no doubter, Giolito got the start in this one, so the CPU restarted at the top of the pitching rotation like I was hoping. Oh, no way! Nomar Mazara? The next swing? The next time I pressed X? We're going back to back? This is getting crazy. Garrett Cole, arguably the best pitcher, potentially the best rated pitcher in March to October in offline play. I don't know what everyone's rating is, but we just went back to back. Tied the game, took the lead on 2 swings of the bat. And I don't know. This all but confirms my theory that online play and offline play are very different when it comes to hitting. I know you guys probably don't care about this, but I'm going to rant for a second, because when I play online, Hall of Fame difficulty is impossible to hit. And if you don't like perfect your PCI, it just doesn't go anywhere. It seems like it doesn't go anywhere, like 80 to 90% of the time. But offline here on Legend difficulty against one of the best pitchers you can face, I just went back to back. I know the first one it gave me a perfect, but the second one I was early and I was just a tad underneath it, and it still gave me a no doubter. And Grandal's just going to hit a weak grounder into the shift to end the inning, but not before we went back to back and took the lead right away. He just missed that. That was not a fun first at bat. That was an 8-pitch at bat with a ton of foul balls. And he did that, almost taking me deep right away. And we get Gary Sanchez striking out to end the inning. Tim Anderson, the master of the double, is going to pull into second with a double, I hope. Okay, I slid the wrong way. Tim Anderson with a 1-out double down the line. That's a good way to get us in position to pick up another run here, especially with Moncada at the plate. Oh, man, he challenged me with that fastball. He threw the first 2 pitches of the at-bat, a 4-seam fastball trying to run it inside, but kept missing. And he was just going to throw that pitch until he got me, wasn't he? And Eloy gets walked. And another walk. That's 2 walks in a row now to load the bases. And if they stick with Cole, which they are, we're going to have a favorable matchup for Mazara here, who also went deep in his last at-bat. And he hits that deep again. Is he going to do it? Nomar did it! Oh my god, horrible. Horrible swing I put on that ball if you look at the PCI feedback, but somehow Nomar Mazara turned on an outside fastball and snuck it just over the wall for a grand slam off of Garrett Cole. That's 5 RBI at least, because I don't know, or no, I've scored all the runs. So 5 RBI for Nomar in this game, and we break this one wide open. Well, I feel a lot more comfortable now pitching with a 5-run lead as opposed to a 1-run lead. And that weak liner should be the 3rd out, so we get through another scoreless inning with Giolito. Danny? Did you do it? Danny Mendick. Oh, that ball was obliterated. Oh, I wish now that I would have had him starting in the division series against the Astros, but I kept forgetting to change the lineup. Danny Mendick coming out swinging now as a starter, proving me wrong with the solo home run. We're going to pour even more on. Oh, yeah, okay. Definitely missed my spot with the circle change there. And Glaber's not going to miss that. That's okay. That's why we have such a big lead. And is this going to be the rain delay? I knew it was going to come at some point. The announcers kept talking about the rain coming down harder, and they don't know if the field's safe and all that. So I think, especially after just giving up the home run, we're going to try and save Giolito's arm here, maybe for another start later in the series. I'll bring in Joe Kelly, see what he's got. He's got one scoreless inning pitch so far in the postseason against the Astros. Oh, man. On an 0-2 count, I lost control of the fastball, and we're giving up a free base runner here. Not what you want to do against Stanton. There we go. All right. Strike out Stanton on 3 pitches. That's the exact way to bounce back from allowing a free base runner. Attaboy, Joe Kelly. Whoa, okay. First pitch of the next inning. He just went with that pitch. That wasn't even a bad pitch. Didn't miss its spot. Fastball away, and Sanchez just was not fooled in the slightest. All right, let's not be doing that. That was a good pitch, though, on a 3-2 count. He just didn't swing. I don't want to be stressed. That's why I put up 7 runs. To make this a stress-free game. And that's a way to bounce back there. The double play to end the inning. Only one more run allowed. Oh, Danny got plunked by Ottavino, and after the walk of Grandal in the last at-bat, we got 2 runners on now in the 9th. So we're threatening again. Tim Anderson having a good day, 3 for 4. If he can get another base hit, well, actually with Grandal's speed, it probably won't be a run. All right, well, a free bases loaded here. A walk, a hit batter, and another walk. Now we got Moncada up in a good spot. Making Ottavino throw all these pitches is actually huge, because if we can take him out of the next game in pretty much garbage time for this game, that's going to be big. And oh no, run that out, please. All right, LeMahieu making a crazy good play. I thought for sure that was a single up the middle. Luckily, Moncada could run that out, so it's not 2, and we put on another run here in the 9th. And Eloy is going to draw another walk. His 3rd walk of the game. The bases are going to be loaded once again for Edwin, and Ottavino's coming out of the game. We made him throw a lot of pitches, so he definitely won't be able to pitch the next game, and maybe even the next 2 games with how many pitches he threw. And Edwin, you got to run this out. And he does. The throw pulled him off the base. I think he was going to beat that out anyway. We scored another run. So we have a 6-run lead once again. But right now, Nomar Mazar is going to have a pretty unique opportunity. He can hit his 2nd grand slam of the game here if he gets a hold of one. Oh, and that was the pitch probably, and I was too amped up. Oh, and he got me early on the fastball outside. That was a good at-bat. I'm going to bring in Jace Friday this last inning up right here with a 6-run lead. And the curveball low and away from Jace Fry is going to get Stanton swinging. We win this game 9-3. Our bats just refuse to cool down in the playoffs here. Nomar Mazara, the player of that game, with 2 home runs, including a grand slam. It would have been so cool if I could have hit that 2nd grand slam with him, but it just wasn't meant to be. But our bats, like I said, just won't cool down. We are just obliterating the baseball so far in the postseason, and a lot of it too comes down to the patience at the plate. Like, I am drawing a lot of walks, and that's giving me a lot of chances to score runs. So I was just curious here to check on how many walks I may have drawn in that last game, because there's no way to go back and look at the box score. But I believe in the first series I was walked 13 times, I don't remember if that's the right number, but if that's the case, we have 19 total walks as a team now. So I got walked maybe 6 times in that last game. It would have been either 5 or 6 walks. So if we can just keep drawing walks, being patient at the plate, and then when the time comes, drive those runs in, we are going to coast to a World Series victory. But that is going to do it for this episode, picking up a big first game win here in the series against the Yankees. Make sure if you enjoyed this one, hit the like button for me and subscribe to see the rest of the series as it wraps up and any other videos pertaining to MLB The Show in the future. But anyway, that's all I've got for you guys in this one. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.